Escape Plan to me is just an underwhelming film. Here you have two of the biggest action stars over the past, what, 4 decades almost, and you go with this concept, this plot, not a balls to the wall R-rated action movie, where these guys are side by side or against each other, but you go with a prison breakout slash thriller, and you have this director, which I don't understand, why they went with this guy to direct this movie. The same director of 1408, which is a much better film. 1408 is a good horror flick. He also directed The Right with Anthony Hopkins. So again, I question why they got this guy to direct this movie. And I was rewatching this again. I'm like, man, if they had made this back in the mid '90s, and if you had Arnold and Sly, and if you throw in more action, and you had a different director. I mean, at that time, maybe you could have had Richard Donner or Jan de Bont. Any of those guys could have done this back in the day with Arnold and Stallone, make it more action-packed. It would have been a great movie. Not in 2013, where really there's not a lot of action throughout the film. It's more so in the breakout scenes. But again, I don't know why they went with this director here. I mean, were they trying to play it safe? Did Stallone and Arnold say, okay, this guy, he's, seems like a nice guy, let's get him. And I wonder, what kind of say did Stallone and Arnold have with this director? Did they have any say? But that's the underwhelming part, is that you have these two icons in a film like this. But, talk about the cast, again, Stallone. Is he bad here? I'm not going to say he's bad here. But at the same time, it's nothing memorable. I like some of the stuff in the beginning. I mean, I like the aspect of his character, that he can break out of these high security prisons, and I'm like, okay, if it was done better, I could see that. Sly as, specialist and breaking out of high security prisons. Again, if it was a movie that I cared more about, okay. But Stallone, while he's not really bad here, again, it's not anything memorable. Arnold, I thought Arnold shined a little, shined more here a little bit. His character Rotmeyer, again, he's this fellow prisoner. He comes into the picture, maybe about 20, 30 minutes in. And, for what Arnold has, I thought he did fine. And he has a couple of fun moments where, for example, the interrogation scene where the warden is looking for this other, I guess, prisoner, and, Rotmeyer, draws him a picture. I'm like, okay, I thought that was a fun moment. So Arnold has a couple of those moments here. I mean, I didn't really care about the fight in the cafeteria, between Stallone and Arnold, where they're trying to stage a fight, and tells Sly, you hit like a vegetarian. I'm like, I don't know what that means, Arnold, but, I mean, again, I thought, for what he had, he shined a little bit here. And he has some other supporting players here in the film. Again, Jim Caviezel. I thought he was fine as the warden. He didn't really bother me too much. Vincent D'Onofrio, which you find out, the twist is, he's in cahoots with Jim Caviezel. Big surprise. Vincent D'Onofrio is the villain here. He's the villain in everything. When is Vincent D'Onofrio not the villain? Maybe can somebody name me some movies where he's not the villain? But, okay, so 50 Cent, again, he's on Stallone's crew. Don't really care about 50 Cent. Amy Ryan as this girl Abigail, again, who's part of Stallone's crew. I mean, why is 50 Cent in there? I mean, but um, and again, you have Sam Neill in the film as this doctor. You know, he's in the prison system, and Stallone's trying to get answers from Sam Neill. You know, trying to get him to help his character. And I like Sam Neill, but you know, you could definitely tell. You know, this is, you know, he's a great actor. You know, big fan of Sam Neill, but you know, it's pretty much here. He's here for a paycheck. Vinnie Jones, he's a subordinate villain. Uh, if you want to say kind of the head guard, and you know, of course, he was Juggernaut, X-Men 3, and many other films. You know, you've seen this guy before. I'm not too big of a fan of Vinnie Jones, but you know, there's a scene in the film where he fights Sly, kind of a fist fight. Um, but I mean, the cast again, you know, Stallone, he's not bad, but he's not anything. His character's not anything memorable either. You know, Arnold, I thought he shined here a little bit more. Um, and honestly, I mean, it is Stallone's movie, and that's the thing here. You know, I wish it was more. You know, rewatch it again. I wish it was more Stallone and Arnold side by side. I mean, Arnold comes into the picture again about 20, 30 minutes in, and he's in the film quite a bit, but it does feel like, you know, is this a Stallone and Arnold vehicle, or is this a Stallone vehicle? Because again, this is a Stallone movie, but it feels like, you know, he's the one driving this vehicle and Arnold's between the passenger seat and the back seat. Like, is he, you know, is he with Sly, or is he kind of back here a little bit? And that's the thing that kind of bugged me, you know, watching this again. Like, okay, you have Arnold and Sly in the same movie, and again, Arnold's in the film quite a bit, but at the same time, the film is trying to remind you, okay, this is a Stallone movie. I'm like, why can't it be both? You know, why can't it be Sly and Arnold, you know, driving this film, instead of Arnold's back here kind of going back and forth between, you know, being with Sly, he's not with Sly. Being with Sly, not with Sly. I'm like, you know, just go all the way with it. But, so I talked about the cast. I mean, like any kind of memorable moments here in the film. I mean, action scenes. Again, it's more so in the third act of the film where they're breaking out. I mean, a great chunk of this movie is a lot of planning between Sly and Arnold. And there's some moments where, you know, they get thrown into this box. And there's a couple of scenes that are interesting, like some nice shots where, you know, for example, when Stallone's thrown into this, like he's put into this box and he's undoing these rivets, using compressed heat. And he escapes through, you know, this shaft. And long story short, you know, this pipe ruptures and the shaft, you know, starts to flood, and it's flooding these other boxes, which, you know, you see Arnold, you know, Arnold's in one box because prior to this, you know, prior to these characters being thrown in these kind of sweat boxes or heat boxes, you know, they had staged a riot. And, you know, when that pipe, you know, ruptures in the shaft and, you know, it starts to flood, these boxes are taking on water. So Stallone's trying to get back, you know, to his box. And so I liked a little bit of that, you know, some of that, you know, thrills a little bit. But that's the thing about this film is, for the most part, it's a thriller. You know, there's no, you know, aside from the third act, there's nothing that really stands out throughout the film other than it's just a breakout movie. It's Stallone trying to break out of this prison, you know, trying to figure out the location, you know, and that's when he realizes when there are those scenes where he's getting out from the shaft and that he's on this tanker in the middle of this ocean. I'm like, okay, you know, and that's something that I will give the film. I like the look of the prison. I like some of the production value. I like the look of the guards. I'm like, if this was done back in the 90s, better director, more action, have Arnold Sly. You can have the same look of the prison, the same look of the guards. But, so again, that's one thing I will say about the film. I like some of the production value and the design of the prison and these individual cells and, the guards. But, Sly, his character figures out that, this prison is within this tanker in the middle of the ocean. So they realize that they have to get out and escape and get to the outside. So there's a couple of interesting, scenes like that. I mean, again, action-wise, I mean, you get some fist fights. You get a little bit in the end where the helicopter comes in. Arnold grabs the gun from the helicopter and he's firing at the guards that are coming up. And I'm like, okay, I like that. That's a nice little moment. Jim Caviezel's come up and I thought was decent. It could have been better, but decent. And I mean, overall, I would say at the end of the day, Escape Plan. The only thing I could say about this film, if there's any pros, again, some of the production value. I like the look of the prison. I like the look at the guards. You have one or two fun bits in the third act, and that's pretty much it. Arnold has a little shine here, but Sly, as much as I love Sly, this is definitely not anything you're going to remember. Stallone, I love to death, but that's the thing. You expected more. You expect more, being that you have these two icons, these two legends. It's like if you take Clint Eastwood and Charles Bronson and you do a drama with those two, and you're like, okay, people be like, what? You got Dirty Harry and Paul Kersey and, Death Wish. You have Clint Eastwood and Charles Bronson in a dramatic movie, or, if you put them in a love triangle type film, you'd be like, that's a waste. You have, two icons. You could have had, Clint Eastwood versus Charles Bronson, or you could have had them both team up for a movie, and you do a dramatic film. Same thing. And that's the thing. There's a lot of, it's wasted potential, this film here, because if you had it just bugs me to death, because rewatching this, I'm like, it's so frustrating because you have Sly and Arnold in the same movie in the forefront, and you don't go in the direction of a balls to the wall R-rated action movie that's a throwback to their heyday. Instead, you do a prison breakout / thriller where a great chunk of the film is planning, trying to find out and learn the place and learn, the routines of the guards and routines of, this and that. Stallone is trying to, plan an escape. Arnold's helping Stallone. They're causing riots. The warden's trying to find out what their plan is. And the only action that happens is only really 2 scenes in the finale. So I know this gets like a 6.7 on IMDb. That's fine. If people like this film more, but, and for what reason, why did this need a franchise? Why did Escape Plan need sequels? Because they did Escape Plan 2 and 3, but we don't get a sequel. We never, got sequels to Cobra. We never got sequels to Tango and Cash. That's even more frustrating. That, we never got sequels to Cobra, Tango and Cash, cliffhanger, but Escape Plan deserved a trilogy for some reason. Can I have an escape plan? Can someone write me an escape plan from this? But yeah. So that's all I have for this review of Escape Plan. Underwhelming, disappointing, and that's this movie. But thank you for watching. And up next, for Arnold Reviews, I'll be talking about reviewing Sabotage, which will be a first time watch. So stay tuned for that, and have a good day.